Welcome back to the 21-day spiritual upgrade challenge. Wow, I never expected to upgrade so intensely while bringing this challenge to you guys. So we're only on day 5. We have got so many, we got like 3 more weeks, over 3 weeks to go. Like, I can't even believe that I'm doing this. But I can, because this is what I do. I love to give. I love to share. I love to experience. So if you're coming in right now, come and say hello. If you are on replay, let me know, #replay. I'll be spending quite a bit of time this weekend going through and commenting back to you guys and really getting into what is happening with you energetically. So good morning, Ashley. Hi, Amanda. Hello, Vanessa. How are you guys going? It is a new moon. I'm really excited because over in our membership, the spiritual membership, our team member, Kimberly, Team Awaken, she is going to be, she does astrology. She's amazing, and she's going to be going really deep into what to expect with this new moon. So that's really exciting. So if you are, hey Shells, if you guys are in the spiritual membership, go check that out. We just did a live last night in there as well, and I had a couple of huge experiences since I've seen you last, which is yesterday. So hey Kim, there she is, Awaken team. She is here to support us on this journey as well, because it's a big contribution we're creating here at the Awaken team. It's a whole movement, and that's why I say, hey, share, do a boomerang or take a screenshot or share this community, because this challenge, or even our communities, because it is a community, it is a movement that we are creating here. So the moon, yeah. Okay, so day 5. Day 5, feeling alive. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tanya. If you're jumping on, come and say hello. #replay if you're on the replay. There's a whole lot of things that I want to talk to you about, but for the honouring of this challenge, I do want to do little step by little step. So far, we have talked about the mistaken beliefs of mediumship. We've talked about, we went into the fear of that, the fear and the programming and the systems and the experiences, and that was in day 1. And we also talked about goal setting. What is your intention for the next month? And really setting one keystone goal to focus on, which gives you confidence in all areas of your life to expand and really start achieving those goals and that spiritual wealth that we're all truly desiring. Okay, my hair is very, very clean. It's super, super soft. Okay, so we've also talked about, oh my God, we've talked about so many things. We talked about demonic energy and angels energy. Oh my God, what else have we talked about? We've talked about so many things. We talked about where you are is where you be, and to know spirit is to know yourself. We went really deep into it. There's so much already in here. And we've only done 4 days. This is the 5th day, that this could be turned into an entire program already. So how are you enjoying this? How are you feeling? I'm a Cancer. It's my birthday month. Yeah. How are you guys feeling? We are in this new moon right now, and maybe you're watching this in the future. Maybe it's not a new moon, but you can still feel all these vibes coming through, a lot of water vibes, a lot of Cancerian vibes. I love July. It's also the Māori New Year. We had Matariki, was it last weekend? So for me, being a New Zealander, to be honest with you, I always feel like it's new. It's a new year. I feel like it's been New Year's Eve. And of course, we started this challenge like it's the start of the year. Right? It's a spiritual upgrade, 31 days to really anchor in your confidence, to upgrade your DNA, to learn, to grow, to expand. Okay, so how are you feeling? Birthday month, yeah, morning, loving it, hello. Okay, so we've done a lot so far. I've got little notes here in my diary. Today, I want to talk to you. I'm going to tell you something very profound that happened to me this morning. But I also want to talk to you very briefly about emotional mastery, choice, change, and certainty, and psychological flexibility. There's a lot in there. I'm going to touch point on these things. Now, please know that in Magnificent Mediumship and in my other spaces, like my membership, my mastermind, and MM, we go deeper into these subjects, okay? So I'm giving you, this is my free space. So you can just imagine what you're getting from here, what you can get in my other spaces. So I give you my all here. The deep dives, the huge transformations, although they happen right here, they do happen in those other spaces when people want to go deep into this. So this is a little bit of a tickle. This is an upgrade. And of course, if this stuff interests you, then you may want to look into different spaces that you can work with me, because this is the way it rolls, right? This is a taster so you can see if you resonate with me, if you resonate with these communities, and where your soul evolution wants to go. So, emotional mastery, this is something I first learned when I was doing life coaching and when I got my coach, my very first coach. And the concept of, and we're following on from yesterday, okay? So the oozing of you did that and you did that and you made me feel that way. You made me feel like shit because you looked at me the wrong way, because you said this, or because you didn't clean up after yourself. We tend to, as human beings, go, oh, you've just ruined my day. Someone just beeped at me on the street, and ruined my day. My partner wasn't emotionally available for me when I need it because I'm feeling needy right now. Just completely ruined my day. How many of us have done that? How many of us are playing in a space, or have played in a space of, I want you to make me happy? I used to do this with my husband. We were together from 16. I was 16 years old, just turned 16. He had just turned 17. I'm 40 now. I'm nearly 41. And I expected, for the first 7 years of being with him, and we came from, our parents both had kind of toxic relationships, both of them. So we had a bond because we recognized each other. That's what happens, right? This is why this mentoring, the spiritual upgrade, is not just about connecting with spirit. It's about your emotional mastery. It's about how far you've come. It's about how you can actually clean up you and actually go, where am I codependent? Where am I oozing or like bitching or being like sulky? Sulky. And it's really important. It may seem that way, but I just brought an emotional support flan to eat for dinner. Oh, yeah. Sounds good. Okay, so sometimes we need emotional support, but we can do this in a way that is mature. This is why we get coaches, right? Not to ooze all over them. The first thing a coach teaches you to do is don't ooze all over me. Go to your journal, write out how you're feeling, kind of like sit there with what's come up, and then you can share it with me, or then you can tell me what came up for you, and then I can show you blind spots. So as we grow up, we need to learn how to be more emotionally intelligent. This happens to us naturally, but we've got to do deeper work. And you can tell when someone's been doing the work because they have emotional mastery. They don't ooze all out over people when they're going through a purge. When you're going through a purge, it's not a bad thing. I've cried this morning already. I may cry again. I'm hoping I do, because having a release, I think I talked about this yesterday, laughing or crying or orgasm or dancing or running, like having some type of release is really important so we don't lock in things. And I can't wait to tell you the story. There's a story I really want to share with you today. So, what is emotional mastery for you? I've put some questions in the description so you can go and do some journaling on that. Journaling and asking questions and going deep into things is key to emotional mastery. I didn't realize until my coach was like, sadness and anger are really important to look into. If you do one better than the other, to let the anger out, to let the tears out, to let the laughter out, to let the expression out. I was like, really? Like, I'm a New Zealander. We kind of like hold ourselves, but there's a point where we hold ourselves too much, where we're like, yeah, hey, Danny. So, oh my gosh, it is so important to hold yourselves with emotional mastery, which doesn't mean not crying. It doesn't mean not getting angry. It means knowing how to do it where you're not actually putting all your shit on someone else. Even, like I say, even with coaches, I think about how codependent I used to be on my coaches like a couple of years ago, and I'd be like, I'm feeling this, like, you know, and it's like, no, that's not emotional mastery. Emotional mastery is like, I'm feeling this, you know, and getting it out somehow, or dancing it out, doing the somatic stuff, doing some breath work. That's why in our spiritual membership, we have breath work once a month. And tons of replays so people can go in and do breath work whenever they want. It's an emotional release. We've got EFT, we've got all these different things, right? So emotional mastery, I just wanted to tap onto that so you can take some, we talked about responsibility yesterday, like taking a little bit of responsibility on, am I oozing energy? You know, do I need to take responsibility anywhere? Like, what is the words coming in my mouth? What is the narrative going on in my brain? I realized during our lives that I have no fears anymore. I have trust in myself to be able to do anything. So there's nothing to be afraid of. And we're only on day 5. Congratulations. Imagine where you'll be at the end of this freaking challenge. Well done for showing up, each and every single one of you, and all of you on replay as well. I really want people to be active, so support each other, comment for each other, on each other, become friends. You know, if you're thinking, I really like that person, like jump into their DMs and say hello. I find it very rare for people to be able to hold space for my feelings, so I tend to process and work through them on my own and soundboard with myself, which is perfect for a mental projector. Because it's really good to hear yourself, you know. And then once we've come to an idea of, I mean, there's the opposite of that as well. I'm not going to get into it, but there is the opposite of that where you're holding too much in yourself and you need to express it. And this is what we do in coaching spaces like the spiritual membership, the mastermind, Okay, loving this course. You're amazing. Yeah, I know it feels like a course, but it's a challenge. And I love overgiving. It's so much fun. Breathwork is an ultimate release and transform 1,000%. At first I was like, what is this? And then I was like, I changed after that. Okay, second thing I want to talk about is psychological flexibility. So a lot of people want to have so much control over their lives. They want to know how their future's going to look, because the certainty of that, the certainty of misery, is actually, or limitations, or just getting by and just being okay and surviving, is so much better than the certainty of not knowing. So whether we like it or not, most people function this way. I'd rather be certain about my future and my security or my safety and my survival, even though I might be miserable because I'm never going to actually accomplish the goals that I truly desire, which are big, hairy, audacious, incredible, life-changing missions and purposes, right? That gets you down on your knees. I told you about Amy, my client, who is an angel, an earth angel, and she's crying on our one-to-one. And I was like, why are you crying? You know, and she's just like, whoa, the mission's so big. And I'm like, I feel you. I know, and I want you to come down onto your knees and cry. like, not that I try to make people cry, please don't get me wrong there. It's like, when you know that you're accessing it when it brings you to tears, when you're so passionate and you've got so much compassion for the world and you really want to step forward, like you're like, you know, like I feel that every day. I wake up feeling a fire in my soul, and then I freak out. But what if it doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough? What if, like, I should just settle? Maybe I should go back to the hair salon thing and go back to the electrician. And what if, this is like a microsecond thought, right? What if I should be satisfied and grateful for just being simply in this country, for having food and a roof over my head? Like, who am I to want more, right? So psychological flexibility is being able to come into the uncertainty, to come into the spaces where, and I know some of you here, some of you who have been on sales calls, like clarity calls, to see if you're fit to work with me in or whatnot. Some of you have been absolutely shitting yourself right? Excuse my language, but like, I know I'm looking at someone right now. I'm like, I know we've had this conversation. And she cried the whole time going, I know I'm here for big things. Shit. I'm doing it. And she's coming into the next round of MM. She's done Reborn. And, yeah, it's just the beginning, right? She's like, it's just the beginning. When you come to that point, it's emotional, right? It's emotional, but we've been told not to be too emotional or hold it in, to ooze it out, right? And, when it brings you down to your knees and you're crying, that's a breakthrough, right? So you have a choice. You get to change. You get to choose to change your mind at any time. We're meant to. It's your prerogative to grow, not to stay still. And how can you tap into the uncertainty, but be certain that whatever you choose and whatever direction you're going on and whatever you jump on this live, I'm just here on this live. Okay. Well, I trust that God, universe, source consciousness, put this right in front of my face because there's something I need to hear. There's a golden nugget. Even if I know 99% of what she's saying and I'm living this, always don't be arrogant enough to think that you know it all. There's always a golden nugget that you needed to remember or you needed to implement. And I listen to my coach's stuff like 3 times. If I'm drawn to something, I always trust that I need to listen to something, or I need to go into a certain program, or I need to connect with a certain person, because I just know. It is the most oddest thing, and that's why I came up to the mountains. You know, like I've told you guys, I came here because mountains and human design, I needed to go up and all the things, right? I live my life by my energetics. Okay, choice, change, certainty. I would rather be uncertain of the future, but certain within my heart and have faith, rather than the certainty of the limitations that my brain thinks my future should be. Okay, are you with me? What's popping for you? Before I tell you my story, what is popping for you? This is a subconscious shift we're doing. We're going to be doing card readings in the next couple of days. I'm going to be doing some evidential mediumship to share with you. I was going to do that today, but I'm splenic. I go with what I want to go with. And today I needed to dive into this for you so you can feel what I'm saying within you, and you can go, something's going to resonate with everyone in a completely different way. I like to work with emotionally intelligent beings, but I also like to work with psychologically flexible beings. And the first thing I say to people when they come to me in MM is, I'm going to trigger you at some stage. Take me off the pedestal. Don't blame me for your stuff. Don't make me, don't rely on me for your changes. Your changes are your changes. Your results are your results. I am simply a guide here to facilitate energy. There is no hierarchy, but I am a guide. I am a mentor, and vice versa, right? So I have my mentors, I have my guides, and I don't put them on pedestals. I just go, wow, what can I learn from you? What can I hear from you? What can I receive from you? It's really, really beautiful. Okay, so I just want to see some comments below. What has popped for you so far? What is resonating with you right here in the moment? What is your favorite frame of what we've just said? Pop it down below, and then I'm going to tell you about the profound experience. I've had 2. One, I talked about my spiritual membership and I went deep into it. But for time's sake and for obviously the intention of this challenge, I'm just going to tell you one of the experiences very briefly, because it's very profound and I'm still letting it land. Going to the mountains, I think I need to go for a walk up one and just be with Mother Earth, nature, and connect to the mountain behind my house. It's beautiful. Yes, friends fall off when I tell them to own their own stuff and let those friends fall off. I always say I'm a non-fluffy coach. I am love. I am kind and caring. I'm the first person to give somebody a cuddle and love them. And when someone cries, I'm like, that's okay. Let it flow. Let it flow. But at the same time, I am very much about people taking responsibility, not being in victim consciousness, and stepping up, because that is what I've been able to do. So to keep it real, and such an amazing mentor. I love you. You're so beautiful. Yeah, keep it real. Yeah. Oh, you keep it real. Yeah. yeah, so what's real for you guys right now? What's alive for you right now? I've had a gigantic upgrade. I've still got a headache because my body's trying to actually process the upgrade. Massive upgrade yesterday. I've seen alien ships. I've seen extraterrestrials. I have seen my guide that has been coming through for 2 years. 2 years, and I never worry about seeing guides or knowing their names. I'll talk about that in another time. Or if you have any questions, pop it in the guide section underneath questions so I can thread those questions through. But I met one of my guides. I saw him right in front of my freaking face yesterday, as well as probably about 30 extraterrestrials, and I also saw a ship. I talk about that in my spiritual membership. So if you're in there, you go check out last night's call. I'll put the replay up shortly. The vibrations are high, and yeah, okay. I'm realizing how far I've come when I can say I'm already working on all of this. Yes, and it's so important, right? I'm already working on it. I'm continuously working on it. The work is never done. There's always another layer. This is a remembrance. It's a remembrance of what you already know, and then it's your job to feel what feels good for you and then to share with somebody else. A lot of people don't know what you know. They really, really don't, okay? So I put this in the chat. Can you see in the description? What is so easy for you that you think everybody knows? They don't. They don't. It's so easy, right? It's so easy, and you need to share this, and if they receive it, they receive it. If they don't, they don't. We don't push, right? I don't believe in religions that go to the door and knock, knock, knock. Last time a Jehovah Witness came to my door, I went, hi. They were like, hi. They were really cool. They were like, here's a card for the JWs if you want to chat or whatever. And I said, I'm a psychic medium. Your card is not going to help me. I had nothing else to say, and they went, okay, we'll keep the card. And I was like, okay, have a nice day. My husband was standing behind me, and he laughed, and he's like, you are so funny. I was like, the psychic medium, this card is not going to help. So funny. The call last night was intense. It was an out-of-body experience for me. Ladies, get in the spiritual membership calls. I know. And oh my God, I was talking to Luke this morning because I'm not with him right now. He's across the country. And he said the app that we're creating, it's been taking a little while, but it's out of this world. He's like, this is going to blow up. I'm so excited. Okay, here's the story. Thank you for commenting below. I just want to hear from all of you. I want to hear the things that are landing, the things that you want to share, the upgrades that you're feeling. We're in the new moon vibe, like right now. Yeah, last night was deep, and it was just a meditation. It was like so deep though. Okay. I had an experience today, and you have got intergenerational gifts that have come through from your mother and your grandmother and your great-grandmother, and quite possibly from your dad's side too. And today I have evidence that that is real. Hey, Nicole, my dreams have been so vivid. So have mine. So have mine. Oh my God. Okay. I love new moons. I actually prefer them to full moons. New moons, I love the depths and the shadow and the energy of being in the womb, being in the dark. We were born in the dark. We were born in the mother's womb. We were born in the depth, right? And I love the new moon for this. So, as you may or may not know, I'm an entity clearer, first and foremost. I teach ghost busting, entity clearing. We on day 3, where I went deep, 40-minute freaking training in the guides, all about entity clearing, and that's nothing compared to what we do in right? But it's a really good indicator of expanding our minds. I'm an entity clearer and an energy shifter and a portal clearer before I'm even a medium, because there's a whole lot of stuff that's important. Energy is so important before we start talking to dead people. Like it 100%. Mediumship is not just talking to dead people. There's a whole array of tools that we need to bring through, and there are unique abilities. Everyone has a unique ability. Everyone, right? That's why I say, look at me and learn, but know that you've got gifts. just as powerful, right? They're just different. And that's what we need to understand. So a lot of mediums like, I'm a medium and you're this and da 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 da. But I'm an empowerment coach to help you activate your gifts and remember your gifts. So that's really important for me. It's my mission on earth to help you be empowered to know who you are. So long story short, I'm always asking for evidence and being aware of it. And I wasn't quite ready to go home. I'm still here at my sister's in this beautiful property under, oh my God, you can't see it, but the mountain, under this mountain. And I've got to go home to my family, which is 5.5 hours away. And my kids are like dying to see me, like, Mom, we want you. Like Friday night, party night, movie and popcorn, you know. And I was like, I'm not ready to go. And I had tears and I burst out crying. And I was like, oh my goodness, my mission's so big. Whew, having a release, you know, this was this morning. I cried for about a minute because I don't cry for a long amount of time. And I was like, holy shit. And all of a sudden I was like, I want my mum. And my mum is Catholic. She's religious. She goes to church. We mention our stuff and she's like, holy water, like literally. literally. And I was like, I want my mum. It's about once a year. I'm like, I really desire my mum. And it had all these signs about the intergenerational stuff was popping up, right, on my email feed. Rebecca Campbell came up with a thing advertising intergenerational healing. And I'm thinking about my grandma. I'm thinking about my mum. I've seen my mum this time and we got along so well. I was like, what? This is so weird because we're usually so different. So I messaged her and I was like, I need my mummy. What are you doing? And she's like, I'm going to work, but I made a whole lot of soup, so I'll bring you some soup. And I was like, oh, there's nothing like mum's soup. There's nothing like mum's mince. There's nothing like mum's mashed potatoes and sausages. You know what I mean? Like, do you guys know what I mean? Like, it's like nothing like your mum's food. Even if it's plain and simple, it's delicious. And the most amazing thing happened. My mum shows up and she said, are you ready to go? Did you get everything done? I said, no. I didn't really get much done at all. But that's okay. And then I was like, I'm a bit emotional. This was literally like an hour ago. And she goes, oh, she puts her arms out and she literally wraps her arms around me. My mum's like this high. She's tiny and she never hugs me. She's rocking me and I'm like, oh, this is nice. I'm the oldest of 5. So I'm like, oh, I haven't had a lot of one-to-one time with my mum. And I was like, oh, this is so lovely. Oh, this is so nice. And then she said, do you know what, Victoria? I was listening to a podcast, an exorcist, he's a bishop. And I was like, this is interesting. And she goes, and they taught us this demon clearing. And I'm like, oh, okay. I said, do you remember it? She said, yeah, I'll tell you it. She's like, I've memorized it for the last few days, this demon clearing. And I was like, what the fuck? We talked about this in Spiritual Upgrade 2 days ago. I mean, I didn't tell her she doesn't know what I'm doing. Like, she doesn't know I'm doing a spiritual upgrade. She doesn't give a shit. Like, she'd be like, whatever, I don't want to know about that, right? She'll literally like, I don't want to know. And I was like, oh, go on, tell me. And she did this entity clearing right then and there. She changed the word demon to spirit. She said, I didn't want to use the word demon, so I used the word spirit. What did we talk about 2 days ago in Spiritual Upgrade? We talked about, what if we just took the word demon out? My mum comes along and says she took the word demon out of an entity clearing. This is a Catholic woman, and I have a splenic kit that I wanted my mum. She brings me soup to nurture me, which I really needed because I'm going through this upgrade with you guys. She gives me a hug, right, under the freaking mountain, and then teaches me an entity clearing. I know, right? Those of you that know me and know my story about how, my mum is so Catholic and I've been kind of rejected quite a lot for my, what I do, right? It's been very like, you should repent. What you do is not good, and both of my sisters are like me as well. And I went, holy moly. And I said, there's only one part of that, Mum, because she talks about Archangel Michael, Jesus Christ, and Mother Mary. So the Catholics, and I work with Mother Mary deeply as well, and the Catholics love Mother Mary. And I said, did you know this is what I do for a job, Mum? I was really curious. I said, but the only part about it I didn't like was, sending that spirit or that demon, like the bishop had said, but the spirit, my mum's, the spirit of anxiety, the spirit of fear. It was the demon of anxiety, the demon of fear, sending it to the foot of the cross of Christ for its punishment or for its judgment or whatever. And I said, I didn't like that, but that sounded too heavy. And she said, but you can change it up. It's all about the intention. My eyes are like popping out of my head. Did this just happen? Is my mum a fucking entity clearer? My mum, it's making me feel really emotional right now. This is my body doing this. My mum is an entity clearer. She's a Catholic goddamn entity clearer, exorcist, right? No way. My sister is an entity clearer. My other sister is an entity clearer. I had an upgrade yesterday where I had extraterrestrials around me healing my body. I do this all so I can do this for you. I do all of this so I can do this for the world. Like 1,000%. That's my whole mission on this planet. Did you and your mum just had a breakthrough? Yeah. So once a year we connect really well together. The rest of the time it's like strangers on different planets. But every now and then we jump onto the same planet. We're like, oh, hi, how's it going? How's your life going? It's really bizarre. I realized my mum is so gifted. And this is an intergenerational gift. We all have these gifts, right? But the strong gifts that we have, the strong purposes, the strong missions are usually threaded through their ancestors. I want you guys to look, what was my nana really good at? What was my mum really good at? Maybe it's listening, maybe it's compassion, maybe it's love, maybe it's listening, maybe it's that. I love the fact I was brought up Catholic because I love ritual. I love communion. I love the energy of prayer. And my mum said she spent 3 days trying to remember this entity clearing. She called it, they call it an exorcist demon clearing, and removing energies. So the energies were, the entities were the demons, which my mum called spirit because she didn't resonate with the word demon. Although it's not that she doesn't believe in demons, she didn't resonate with it. She didn't want to say the word. That's what I said 2 days ago in this. So once my mum, after we had this very light chat, which I recorded what she said, I said, can I please record the entity clearing, Mum? Can I please record it for my own personal use? I won't share it, I won't share your voice with anyone because she's a bit shy. I was like, but this is something I'm going to bring into my upgrade of my remastering of because is evolving as we're evolving all the things. So when she left, she gave me a big hug and I was like, bye Mum. She was like, drive safe. And I was like, I love you. And she was like, yelled out the car, I love you. Again, my eyes, I had to ring my sister straight away and go, you're not going to believe this. She goes, my sister goes, are you ready to go home now? Because my mum usually doesn't, she's not like a I love you person or I want to hug. She puts up her walls because she tries to protect herself. So I totally get that, especially when you've got these random children that have left the church and they've gone all new agey. It's like, watch out for them. But I think the more she sees that we are love, the more that she sees that we're doing good in the world, the more that she sees that we are kind and generous and caring. And I've said to her, how can leading with love, how come coming from a space of compassion and contribution, how can that be bad? How can that be evil? If your heart is in the right place and you're coming from a space of love and contribution and desiring to grow and expand, not scarcity, not like I've got to hold all my pennies for when I retire for the certainty of misery, rather than the certainty of the uncertainty of the future, and having faith. Faith is really about, I'm following my heart into the wilderness to see where my spleen or my authority in human design takes me. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. There's a lot of coaching in today's call, psychological flexibility. Are we emotionally intelligent? How can we go deeper in to do the work? Something came up to be scheduled and I never push install. I always just delete it, so it always comes up and interrupts with my stuff. How is this feeling for you guys? I share this with you because First of all, I want to be relatable. I'm always doing the work. I cry, I scream, I dance, I laugh. I'm always like, what do I require? I listen to myself. I'm doing the experiment of human design. I've been in it for 3 years now, where every day I'm like, what do I require? So I don't push too hard. I just go with what I had a plan today to do a whole lot of emails, a whole lot of content, because I've been doing fuck all. And instead I'm like, as soon as I finish this, I'm going to hop in the car and go give myself a beautiful lunch in a couple of hours and spend some time alone. And, like, that's a lot. Just having a breakthrough, Oh, thank you, Zara. Yeah, and I share this with you because I really desire for you guys to be relatable, right? But I don't share because I want contributions. I share because I'm like, how does this resonate with you? How do these breakthroughs, how can, my sister and I know this is very profound. Most people would just go, oh yeah, it wasn't a big deal. Me and my mum had a connection or whatever. But what if I've been listening to grandmother song on repeat? It's making me think. Yeah. We listened to a grandmother song on spiritual membership last night as well, actually, which is interesting. We did that in our meditation. So these are the things that we get to access in spiritual membership. These are the things we get to access in community. These are the things we get to access here in challenges like this, where I'm giving from my heart to you. This is a free experience. These are things that we get to experience every day with compassion, with a text message to someone saying, hey, I love you, Mum. I miss you. Or here's some soup, or like, Catherine Gordon dropped off a bottle of aura spray while I was on this call, like the day before last. She popped it in the letterbox because she knew I was staying with my sister, and she must have been coming through town. Like, doing a random act of kindness and coming from your heart and trusting your process and being a decent human being, choosing for yourself, but also expanding and noticing around you and noticing the God-given gifts, signs and synchronicities around you, taking responsibility for your own emotional state and leaning into whatever that is. When I was feeling, when I was kind of like, oh, my mum was like, are you okay? And I'm like, this is a good thing, Mum. Like, crying is good. Like, it's an emotion. I said, Mum, it's like an emotional release, just like a laugh or an orgasm. I'm stoked, but I'm upgrading my whole reality. And we're in a new moon. We get to look at all parts of us and to drop all identity. We get to literally go back into the womb and to feel. We can do this anytime, but it's very profound right now. We get to go inward and go, holy shit, who birthed me? Who birthed her? 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 Often we're like, why isn't she choosing consciousness? Because she came here to help you evolve. And she gave you gifts that you can access easily and not have to work so hard to activate. Okay, food for thought. I've been leaning into my own emotional state, taking time for myself to reset. It's pissed a few people off. Thank you for bringing that up, Brenda. It is really important. I'm making some radical changes in my life. I have been doing so for the last couple of years, and I'll continue to do so. They're big and they're brave and they're courageous, and I just don't have space for 28 million friends. I've got a beeline to serving the world. I don't have to be doing this, I didn't have to leave my whole family and come to the mountain for a few days to go through upgrades. Some people would go, well, that's a bit selfish. It's your kid's last day of school and you're not there for the shared lunch and you're not there for the kapahaka for matariki. And I'm like, no, I'm not. But the mum guilt comes and I'm like, no, I'm working for the world. I'm working for the universe. I'm working for the generations that come after me. And I'm doing things a different way. I'm living my life by my design, outside of the box. I'm upgrading myself spiritually, and I'm inviting hundreds of people to do this with me. Okay. So please share this community. Please feel free to do me a favor as an energy exchange. Do this because it feels good, to take a screenshot, to tag people, like to put it onto your community. Say, come over here. It's like Tammy said, I love this course. It's not even a course, but it's so good. It's like a course that you would pay for. So just imagine what we have in the spiritual membership. Just imagine what we have in the spiritual business mastermind. Just imagine what we have in magnificent mediumship. You know, it's this is just a touch on all of those things. So funny coming into this live with you, and I have been for quite some time just going back within and doing things I know feel good. My meditation really makes it quite, 1,000%. I don't have a connection with my mother on her side, but I can probably reach my grandmother through mediumship to chat with her. Exactly. I talked to my great-grandmother who was in an asylum. She died in an asylum, a mental institute, that her husband, my great-great-grandfather, I think he ran that asylum. And I think my great-grandmother was made to be a nurse in that asylum. Like, I've got to get my facts right here, but she was definitely in an asylum. You know, when my sisters and I have talked to her in mediumship, I'm like, I was literally getting these electric shocks in my head. I was like, what the fuck did they do to you? You know, it could have been postnatal depression. It could have been her psychic mediumship. She probably could see with her eyes, because my great-grandmother could see with her eyes. She was that strong of a medium. And of course it got shut down and whatnot. But yeah. Okay, my loves, I love you. Have a great day. I want to hear from you. Post, okay, I want you to post your breakthroughs, okay? There will be extra brownie points for this post. We're giving away readings, okay? We're giving away freaking psychic mediumship readings. One from me, one from my sister. And we've got other things up our sleeve. Share, participate. Do a post and tell us about your breakthroughs. Show us a beautiful picture of you if you haven't already. Share this with your best friends. This isn't going to be around forever. This is around for now. And people can join now or even at the end and catch up on all the replays, okay? So I've given my heart and my soul today. I love you guys. You're amazing. I'll be checking in. Myself and Kimberly will be checking in with the messages. And if you are ready to join spiritual membership already, this is a great time to do it before the prices go up, before the app comes. We have 6 calls a month. It's insane. Otherwise, just enjoy the space and while you're here. Oh, thank you so much. I know Tanya always loves, she's in all my groups and she always loves looking at the scenery because she's a New Zealander. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. I really appreciate this. We've got over 300 people in here now. What could happen if we made a ripple effect of change? What would happen if we showed up and we were generous and kind and caring and led from our hearts and came from how can we contribute? How can we give? And what if we dropped the certainty and went, I don't know where I'm going to be. I've got my goal, but I don't know where I'm going to be in the next month after I've done this. And I'm fucking willing to step forward, even though it's scary, to see how far I can go. How far down the rabbit hole can I go? I got you. You got you. Lots of love.